It's Lucky, joined by Scott. Mr. Ekman is in a card show. He will not be joining us, so we're going to make sure we sabotage all his picks in commission mode. Uh, yeah, so we're going to go into our week 3 pick'em predictions and a special parlay at the end that because we didn't do the above the or against the spread podcast this week, so I'll take their place. I'll give a little wing at it. So, Scotty, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so let's go into the picks of the week. So San Francisco won already. We got Atlanta and Detroit. What do we think about Atlanta and Detroit? Who you got?
I got Atlanta upsetting Detroit. I think the run game is going to end up being the difference in that. I don't think David Montgomery is supposed to play, even though Jamar Gibbs is a fantastic talent. I just think Atlanta is going to squeak it out at the end.
Yeah, no, I got Atlanta too. I just don't see Detroit winning this one. I don't know. I got Atlanta. I just got a feeling about Atlanta. They're not favored to win at all, but I think Atlanta's going to pull it out. So Buffalo at Washington, not even a conversation. I'll pick Buffalo in that one.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Yep. All right, and then Denver at Miami. I think Miami's going to win by a lot. I think Miami's going to. I mean, the way Tua has been playing, I think he's going to throw all over Denver. I think it's going to be like maybe 30-7. I don't know if you agree.
I think Denver will put up more points than that. Waddle may not play though because of concussion protocol. He still hasn't passed as of Saturday. So, but I still got Miami winning that game regardless until Denver can figure out how to play 4 quarters. I can't pick them.
Yeah, for sure. Jacksonville and Houston. I don't think anyone's picking Houston here, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I got Jacksonville all day.
Yeah, agreed.
Baltimore, Indianapolis, same thing. Lamar Jackson probably gonna have a good game here, and if you're doing player props and all that, so I got Baltimore beating Indianapolis.
Baltimore as well.
We're probably not going to gain look, I can't even talk. Gain traction on each other.
You're behind me, so I'm not worried about it.
Well, that's true. Not for long. All right, we got Chargers at Minnesota. I'm gonna pick Chargers in this one.
I got the Chargers as well, even though the Eckler's not going to play. I just don't. I think the Chargers are too good to start 0-3. Minnesota is just like last year, like what we talked about on our sports podcast. They only lost one score game last year. I think they won like 8-1, and now it's reversed. They're 0-2 in 1 score games, and I just think that trend's going to keep going. I actually think they probably lose by 10-12.
Oh yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing about this week is like there's so many good options for parlays and stuff in the sports betting world, but there's games like this one, New England at New York Jets, that I don't even really want to touch it, but I got to make a pick, so I'm going New England. I just think they're going to edge out the Jets, but I don't think it's going to be a game worth watching at all. But
I'm actually going to roll with the Jets on this one. It's going to be a really good game. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Both teams bolster a really good defense. I just think the Jets have a good enough defense to really keep the Pats' offense in check, and I think it's going to come down to probably the running game. And I think Breece Hall has kind of like the game like he did against Buffalo, a couple of real long runs, puts them in position to score. So that's what I got on that one.
Okay, all right. It hurts me as a Bears fan to say it, but Green Bay, I have them winning here, and I hope they don't let me down, because usually Green Bay, when I want them to lose against us, they win, and then when I want them to win against someone else, they lose. So, but I think Green Bay will pull out against the Saints here.
Yeah, I do. I have Green Bay winning this one. I think the Saints' offense has been very underwhelming. And I don't know. I think maybe they just need a little bit more time to click. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I got Green Bay just squeaking this one out.
Yeah, Chris Olave might have a good game though. He's been pretty good this year, and if you're doing player props, I would look into some Chris Olave stuff. He might be doing some good things this week. So Tennessee and Cleveland. Man, I feel bad for Cleveland with Nick Chubb last week and everything, and I just don't. No. Who's their backup?
It's gonna be oh my god, why can't I remember his name? But they just signed Kareem Hunt.
Oh, they sent Kareem Hunt again?
Yeah, they signed Kareem Hunt. It's gonna be a mix of Kareem Hunt, Jerome Ford. Sorry, I had to think about it, but yeah, Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt are gonna be going with that backfield. I don't have them winning though. I don't have the Browns winning
Yeah,
in
no.
this one.
No, as you can see, I got Tennessee as well. So
Yeah, yeah. Tennessee bolsters a top 10 run defense. And in fact, I think they actually might be top 5 right now.
oh yeah, yeah for sure. Seattle and Carolina, I got Seattle. I think they're just gonna have a really good game against Carolina. So
Yeah, I got Seattle as well. They should win this one.
all right, and then Kansas City and Chicago. Let me take a lead on this one. As a Chicago fan, any Chicago fan that thinks the Bears even have a shot at this, just stop betting, stop picking anything. The Bears are
Yeah,
going to get blown out of the water here. This is a Kansas City second bye week of the year.
yeah. I understand as a fan, like you want to pick your team. You gotta hope your team wins, but at the same time, you got to be realistic sometimes. And the Bears in Kansas City are just they're nowhere in the same freaking universe as far as talent and ready to win right now. So I just hope Justin Fields turns it around. That's all I hope.
Yeah, well, I think that with the comments he made this week about coaching, and I think with coaching saying, well, we want him to be free, again, with player props, I would go with Justin Fields' rushing yards here because he's only had like one total rushing yard this whole year. And I think they're trying to make him into something he's not. He's not a pass first, quarterback. He likes to move around and make things happen. So I think they're going to let him do it this week. And I think he's going to have a lot of running yards and stuff, but it's just not the week for him to pull off a miracle against Kansas City. It isn't going to happen.
Yeah, I I understand them trying to turn him into a pocket passer, but if that's not what he is, then that's not what he is. You got to let him do his thing. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure. So Dallas at Arizona. I don't like Arizona this year at all. I'm going Dallas.
Yeah, you can't blow a 30-point lead to the Giants in the second half and then expect expect to beat Dallas. So yeah. Side note: Diggs done for the year.
Oh,
Crazy.
really?
Yeah. He tore his ACL at
Oh,
practice.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Big
that's a
blow.
big hit. Definitely a big hit. So Steelers and the Raiders. I got the Steelers edging this one out. How about you?
I got the Raiders. One of the only times I'll probably pick the Raiders all year. Steelers have been atrocious against the run. I do think that they end up running on them pretty strongly, even though Josh Jacobs had -2 rushing yards last week. I just don't see that happening again. I think Devontae Adams, watch out for him. I think he goes for about a $150 on about 10 catches. I think they feed him. They feed Jacobs. It's going to be a close game still because the Raiders don't have that good of a defense. But, with Deontay Johnson on the IR, I'm not sold on Kenny Pickett. But if you're looking for kind of a sleeper player, Warren, the running back from the Steelers, I think he's going to get a lot of pass catching opportunities in this game. I think he ends up putting up about 100 all-purpose yards.
Yeah, for sure. I really like how you're carrying this because I'm trying not to talk as much or I'm going to keep coughing and my allergies are like crazy.
No,
So I'm
you're good.
trying to keep it brief. But no, Philadelphia and Tampa Bay. Yeah, I got Philadelphia. I don't got Tampa Bay winning this one.
I got Philadelphia, but I think this is going to be a good game. Philadelphia's defense has been very underwhelming. I don't know what's going on. They went from one of the best defenses last year to the first 2 weeks. I mean, they let the Patriots throw for over 300 yards on them. And then last week, Cousins had like 343 himself, maybe a little bit more. Justin Jefferson went off Justin Jefferson goes off on everybody, but still, he went like 11 for 150. And if he doesn't fumble that ball into the end zone, that game could have gone a little different route there. But yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty good game. But I got Philadelphia squeaking it out.
Nice. And then the Monday night game, Cincinnati and the Rams. I got Cincinnati. I think they're going to pull this one off.
I got the Rams. on this one. After watching them last week against the 49ers, they also beat the Seahawks, who were supposed to blow them out of the water. And I mean, they were competitive with the 49ers, through the middle of the third. And 49ers, one of the best teams in the NFL. I don't know what's going on with Joe Burrow. He reactivated that calf. I don't know how much he's going to be able to throw. Rams defense has been surprisingly good. This Puka kid, rookie for the Rams, leads the NFL in receptions with 25 already through 2 games. Tutu Atwell's been a pleasant surprise, and Matthew Stafford looks great. I think this is one of those games where people think it's going to be an obvious pick, but I think the Rams are going to come in. They're going to be ready. Joe Burrow's not going to be 100%, and they're not going to be able to throw like they normally do. And I just think I can smell an upset right now. And I think if the Bengals end up losing this game, they're going to have to sit down and figure out if they need to rest Joe Burrow or what, because now they could possibly be 0-3 and in a whole lot of trouble.
Right. No, I see that point. I'm still going to stick with Cincinnati because I want to win that hobby box from you and Josh, so I got to be different.
Yeah. So we had 3 different picks?
Yeah. So I'll gain 3 on you.
Yeah. I mean, some of these games you got to take a risk on. You got to have some fun with it. So.
Oh, for sure. Let me see if I can pull up the standings real quick and see where we're at. So you're leading at 22. Josh is at 21, and I'm at 19 going into week 3.
Nice.
So you're winning, but not for long. You're only a couple points ahead.
Yeah, last week I took a couple gambles on some picks, and it didn't work out my way. So.
Yeah. No, for sure. And then I want to share this with you real quick. So this is the parlay that I built this morning. So if anyone wants to try it and see, I'm not the Against the Spread podcast, so I'm not the specialist and the subject matter expert, but I got the Chargers on the +1.5 spread. I think that they're going to cover that. I think that the Bills money line is a for sure thing. The Ravens money line, the Chiefs, no brainer. And then I think the Cowboys and the Cardinals, I think that's going to be under 42.5.
Yeah, and the only reason it's going to be under 42 is because Arizona is not going to score more than 10 points.
Yeah, and the odds of that parlay is +1249. So you throw a 20 spot on there, it'll have a pretty decent payout, and I think it's got a really good shot at hitting. So that'll be the parlay of the week for me. And if it hits, then they need to look at putting me and you on the podcast instead of them. So
yeah. For sure.
And then real quick, so speaking of that, do you know who Colin Coward is on the Herd?
Yeah.
So every week he does the Blazing 5, right? And he like his 5 locks of the week and the spreads and all that. Every year he's like pretty decent. But this year, out of week 1 and 2, he's only pushed 1 and he lost the other 9. He's doing like terrible this year.
Ouch.
Yeah. So hopefully the Against the Spread guys aren't like that. But all right, that's our picks for the week. Scotty, thanks for joining me this morning. Yep. And then we'll upload this soon. And guys, try that parlay and see if it hits. So all right, we'll see you next week.
See you later.